Before opening this reading, I heard the word expression, and I was trying to understand what expression means. But as I went along with the silence and heard the message, it was more on the like we are now in the Sagittarius new moon, and it is inviting us to welcome a new beginning, a new phase, and to prepare ourselves, to prepare our vessels, our human body, to welcome something new, a change that this new moon is inviting us to do. And by doing this, we are also, this is also like an invitation for us to, after expanding, because Sagittarian new moon means we are being invited to expand spiritually and energetically in ways that will help us grow and expand as a person, to become a better versions of ourselves, and discovering the talents, the gifts that we have left dormant for years. And after such big transition, especially after the death and regeneration, the regenerative power of Scorpio, this is in this Sagittarian new moon is inviting us to welcome a new chapter, a new beginning of our lives in ways that we have never seen before. So this is, for me, like, this is how the expression of Capricorn is challenged, I should say. Like because like, for us humans, it's easy to, when we have excitement, when we're about to start something, we tend to be excited, enthralled, and we have a lot of aspirations, and we have a lot of goals. Our minds are busy acquiring possibilities in our heads. But then as time goes by, we tend to have these fluctuations of, we call the highs and lows of our goals, and that spirit of achieving that goal, especially if that goal will take years or months to achieve, to accomplish. And this is what the Capricorn full moon is inviting us to do. So after the Sagittarian new moon, after expanding, after welcoming a new beginning, a new chapter in our lives, it is also inviting us to have the steadfastness, the steadiness of the Capricorn for a Capricornian harvest, which is the full moon. And it is also calling for expansion and calling for steady movement. And from recklessness, it is also calling us to be responsible. I mean, seriously, like, I know this sounds so serious. But this is how the message sounds. I mean, that I'm trying to make the message as light-hearted as possible, because the message is really intense in a way where Capricorn, in its default, is a dense energy. And as a Sagittarian, just absorbing it, just right now as I'm talking to you, just feeling it right now in my body makes me want to laugh because it's just so heavy. I mean, that's what I've been feeling in the last few days while reflecting on this message. Like, this unexplainable density. That's why I'm asking myself in the toilet. I'm asking myself what how dense actually the Capricorns are in comparison to the winter babies like the Scorpios and the Sagittarians, and in comparison with its fellow earth signs, Taurus and Virgo. And as I'm trying to weigh all possibilities as far as my understanding goes, Capricorn, like my parents are both Capricorns, I appreciate the steadfastness. Like, if they have a goal, they really make sure that they can accomplish it. Okay, they can accomplish it in whatever it means, in whatever ways they can. And they don't have this hesitation to go through years of hard work, steady hard work, just to make sure that they get that stability, that sense of stability. And I feel like the point of this message is like you are invited to find that expression. Like, I feel like this is like a calling of, yeah, like expression. I mean, help me, spirit team. Like, what is this expression? What do you like? What is expression in this reading? Like, what is expression? I mean, below the deck, I have the devil, Ace of Cups, are you? It makes like there are a few questions in my mind right now. Like, are you? Because this is about expression. Are you able to express yourself, or are you the person who can express yourself freely, but no one cares about your work? Like, is this like A? You belong to this group where you have this intense need to express yourself, but you don't know how to start and whatever, or like, wait, let me clarify. Let me clarify that. You're this person who has intense need to express yourself but unable in whatever reasons. Like, for example, circumstances, maybe you don't have support, or you don't have the emotionality, you're not really prepared, you're not really mentally prepared to express yourself, or there are people you're afraid of the disappointments, you're afraid of what your family would say, you're afraid of the consequences that it will bring if once you stick to it, or you once you decide. Because Sagittarian new moon is like you expand, so it's like a thunderbolt lightning situation. Okay, after the death and regeneration of Scorpio, you are now invited to rise from the ashes. And when you rise from the ashes, what will you become? So you become the phoenix. Okay, and then when you become the phoenix, you're one of the most like highly respected entity. Okay, but you have to die first, because you have to, like something has to die for something to be reborn. And right now, like, it's either you are either like you are able to express, or you are able to express but no one cares about your work. And no matter what you do, no one really bothers about your work, no one really likes your work, no one reads your work, no one really cares about your work, and that's how you feel about yourself. But there is a calling, there's a message here of not giving up, because Capricorns don't give up. Capricorns don't easily give up. And as much as possible, they find ways and means to make anything possible, even if it takes months, years to achieve it. So it's also calling you to let go of the recklessness of the Sagittarian. Like the Sagittarian recklessness, because we just focus on the fun. We just focus on the positive side of the goal of this new path, of this new beginning. We just look at it as a, like as an adventure, as a thrill, a source of thrill, instead of seeing it as a vocation, instead of seeing it as a long-term investment, instead of looking at it as a not necessarily investment in a business sense, like you want to spend time on it for long term, or that this is something that you can work on for a long time, that this is something that you can repeat over and over and over again without being stifled, without being like a Capricorn. Like you don't find excuses, because you just love it. You just love your work. You're so organized. You're so, like, you put your heart and soul into your work. You're the type of person. But I feel like you're the type who needs that steadiness from, like just treating things like a joke, or not really taking things seriously. I'm not saying that not taking by not taking things seriously is a bad thing, because I also take things less seriously than before, but that doesn't mean that I'm not really taking things seriously. You know what I mean? It's like a balance of it. Like, I take things seriously, like this reading, we're just laughing, I'm smiling and trying to take things, the heavy message, as lighthearted as possible, but it doesn't mean that I'm not serious. Just because I'm not writing every single day doesn't mean I'm not serious with my craft. You know what I mean? Like, but there's a need for balance between both the fun and discipline, right? So because Sagittarius is about fun, the fun of it, and Capricorn is about discipline. Saturn and Jupiter in action. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, and Capricorn is governed by Saturn. The other one, the Jupiterian energy is expansive. Saturn is limiting. So what it means, like, Saturn is a malefic placement, and a lot of astrologers really be cautious around Saturn, because Saturn makes things difficult, make things limited, makes your strengths invisible. It makes you feel like the earth is so harsh. It makes you feel like everything's just hard work. There's no fun. But the point is, you don't want your life to be ruled by just hard work. You also don't want your life to be ruled by fun. You want balance for both. Excuse me. Like, you want balance for both. So for example, like expression, you find one thing that makes you feel like you're expressing yourself to the truest form. You find something that allows you to express yourself in your truest self. But that doesn't mean that you're not being serious about your craft just because you don't spend time, don't spend like as any Capricorn would define discipline, like every day, no, like overtime with full blown schedules, like my parents did when they were working. Like I admire my Capricorn parents because they've been really hardworking. They really could swallow office hours like no other, but in the end, it's like the body is asking then in return. The body is asking in return. But I really appreciate and forever grateful to my parents, to my Capricorn parents, who managed to make it. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. My sister wouldn't have finished her studies. I mean, life has been compared to how they were to how to the life they experienced before. We're far better off than they did. So that's why that's the point. Like this is the Capricorn result. You want better. You want a better world than how it is when you arrived. You want a better world. Again, you want a better world than how it is when you arrived. So that means change. Thunderbolt lightning change like a Sagittarian would. Like reckless 1, 2, 3 snap back. Change. But then it also invites you to have the steadfastness, to keep the engine running, the maintenance. You can't just, okay, I'll buy a car and that's it. You have to provide the maintenance to make sure that the car will run for the next 10 years. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Yeah, the Empress reverse. Yeah, like I feel like you have this because the Empress is a major arcana of the tarot, and this calls for expression, being able to sit down with your femininity. It doesn't have you don't have to be like, regardless of the gender, regardless of what. This is about energy. The Empress energy is about femininity, and all of us, men and women, have femininity in us. And when you say femininity, this is the ability to receive, the ability to feel, the ability to intuitively move around life like water. And as you see from the Empress card, you see the woman filled with flowers. Yeah, and that's the symbol of Venus. Yeah, that's an astrological glyph of Venus. And as you see and then you see there's a green, the circle there's green. And green is heart chakra. Okay. Green is about the heart chakra. And I'm drawn to it. So it means like there's something about you not being able to express your heart, you not being able to express how you truly feel in whatever ways you can. Be it a song, novel, novella, painting, music, whatever it is. And because it's in reverse, the Empress is in reverse, that means you're not really being able to express yourself freely for whatever reason. What is the reason? What is the reason why you can't express yourself freely? Because if you ask me, how do I express my pain? So I have my example here. Like, this is my book, Strokes of Desire. So this is my book, Strokes of Desire. And this is my shadow work. This is the outcome. This is the result of my shadow work. So it's like if you read this book and get a copy of my book, of this copy, of this, you're reading my pain. Okay, you're reading my pain. Like you could just imagine how like there's a thin line between fiction and reality, like because I used my journal entries, my real life stories there, and all the lines, like you can say that the lines are so personal to me, that this book is so personal to me that I'm even embarrassed to share it with you. But because I'm pulled and drawn to express it no matter what my Scorpio moon wants, which is secrecy and fear of vulnerability, I still overcame it. I still chose to overcome it because it's needed. because to heal is to reveal. Okay, so we have Page of Wands. Page of Wands, you know what it is. You're ready to play around. So because Page of Wands compared to King of Wands, King of Wands is more like the action. You can just say like a general who knows what to do in the for the siege, in the siege. Page of Wands, this is more like you have this playful approach, but because you already have the wand, so that means one action, one thing. You already have it in your hands. You already have it in your mind, but you're afraid. You're afraid to express it because of whatever. Like, you're afraid to express it because maybe there's some doubts, frustration, maybe you fear. Usually it's fear. And fear can be expressed in different ways. Fear can be, if you take a look at my Substack article, which I thought, wherein I talked about, there are two ways fear can be expressed, manifested. First is through procrastination. Second is through not really doing at all. Not really resisting. Okay, like procrastination and really like not really doing at all. And I feel like you are trapped in that, in between two forces, and you don't know where to go. What should you do first? Should you listen? Should you? Yeah, that's what I thought. Like Seven of Wands. Like Seven of Wands. Like there's some external force going on. Like you are protecting your wand. Okay? You're protecting your wand. You already have the wand in your hands. You already have your one wand, and you're willing to fight for it. Okay, like a Capricorn would. But and then you have six more. So there's six more people trying to intervene, to interfere, to distract you, to stray you away from that thing. Or you have too many schedules. But Seven of Wands for me is, excuse me, was more of resistance. Like you have something in your hand, but there's some interruption going on. There's some interruption going on. And that's why you can't really express you really can't express what you want. You can't really do what you want. You can't really, because expression, you have artistic expression, and you have this, you can also see it as a verbal expression, body kinesthetic expression, like dancing, ballet, tango, whatever, or calisthenics or yoga, can even a sense of expression. You express yourself artistically in whatever ways and form you can be, or you want. But there's some interruption. There's people. I feel like there's people around you that stops you from doing that. So there's some sense of hindrance, and like you feel stifled to express yourself because of the people around. But who are these people? Another nine. That's Nine of Wands. Like you have this one thing. I mean, seriously, you have this one thing. You have this one thing there. You have this precious thing, and you're willing to fight for it, right? And then you're willing to fight, and then now, even when, like, I feel like this Nine of Wands, like, because this one, you notice the difference of the cards. This one is like options. I see the options, and it's like, hey, you do this, and itong gawin mo. Pertagal. This is like, no, 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 I don't want that. I don't want that. I want this. I want this. Stop, stop, stop. Just stop. And no, no, no. This is what it should be. This is what we do. This is what we should do. This is what we should be doing. What are you doing? And this one, oh, no. And it's like, they're standing there. The ones are now standing there like, this is what you should do. So this is like tradition. The actions are placed there, like they're taller. The ones are taller than him. So that means like, from, like, you're being pushed. Like the options. It's like, how should I say, like, you want to express something but you can't because there's a sense of, like, the Capricorn. If this is about Capricorn, this is about tradition. Okay, traditional actions, family, culture, something Capricornian. Something Capricornian would mean traditions, culture. What else? Like something tested, ancestral thing. Like your grandpa, like, let's say you're an attorney. Like, you want this one thing, you want this one option. I want to be an artist. Okay, you want to be an artist, you're an artist by heart. And then people say, oh, maybe you told them, oh, I want to be an artist. Or maybe you didn't even take it seriously. You just said, like, okay, mom and dad, I want to be an artist. And then they say, no. No, like, you can't be an artist because we're lawyers. We're a family of lawyers. Okay, and then your grandpa's been a lawyer, your father's a lawyer, your brother's a lawyer, your cousins are lawyers, and everyone's a lawyer. And when you don't want, because you have this, you want to be an artist. And then you really embraced it by heart that you really want to be an artist. But people around you would say, no, this is how it is, and then this is how you choose to be. This is how you should become. You should be a lawyer. And like, as a lawyer, you have uncle. Your uncle is a prosecutor. Your tito is a senator, whatever. I mean, this is just one classic example. I mean, another example would be like, okay, you want to be, you want to be a TikTok star. You want to be famous to TikTok. You just want to dance in front of TikTok, and then you just want to have fun. But then no, because you have to be stable. So you should find a stable job. Find a decent, real job. So you can be anyone, like accountant, banker, but not a TikTok star. And next will be like, oh, you really want to be a TikTok star. You really want to be like, you really want to shine. You really want to go flaunt your flamboyance. But the traditions, I mean, the traditions matter. Okay, so that's why you're kind of stifled to express yourself, because you have traditions over you. Traditions matter over your needs and wants, because traditions matter more, because it's been done and tested for time. And history history repeats itself. Yeah, but you're willing another one. You know what Knight of Wands tell me? Knight of Wands, you have a horse. You're willing to go for it. You're willing to go for it. And you see the one, he's holding it, and he has a horse. And next year is the year of the horse. So that means it's really time to expand. It's time to go for it. It's time to, like, like being stifled, the Empress, and then you already have the Page of Wands. Okay, So you already have I know, like right now you feel stifled to express yourself, to express who you truly are, to express your fullest expression. But if you truly believe in it, just like the Page of Wands, the Page of Wands is a playful, okay, a playful approach to action, okay, just like a Sagittarian would. Like Sagittarians, I am a Sagittarian. Just because I talk to you in such a light-hearted way, or just because I write my Substack articles in a way where I just laugh, I include ha 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 emojis, heart heart heart, um, a lot of like maybe like I am dashes and semicolons. Just because I use all of that, that doesn't mean that I intend to murder my craft. Okay, this is just about expression. Okay, this is about me being able to express who I truly am. So if I laugh at the in the article, I'm laughing in the article. I'm laughing at my mistakes. I'm laughing at my failures in life. Like just because I laugh at my mistakes doesn't mean that I'm not taking my life seriously. So it's also calling you to approach life that way, in a Sagittarian way. But that doesn't mean that you compromise your Capricornian, because all of us have Capricorns in us, okay? In wherever placements in our charts. We are all born with our own planets. That's why we call ourselves like, there's a saying where we say, the universe is in you, because literally the universe is within you. Like you have, all of us have Mercury, all of us have Venus, Earth, okay? All of us have Pluto, all of us have Uranus, Saturn, all of us. And it just varies in whichever placement, how it is expressed in the tangible world, in the 3D Earth, 3D tangible world, I should say. Okay? But you're willing to go for it. Then why not go for it? Because Year of the Horse next Year of the Horse is calling for expansion. This is really Jupiterian, and because it's Jupiterian energy, it's about being able to expand. So that means you experience miracles, abundance, luck, optimism, thunderbolt, lightning. Lightning. When the lightning comes, what does it do? It brightens up. It brightens up the space. It when it claps when the thunderbolt claps, everyone's shocked. It hits the transmitters. Yeah, transmitters. It hits the tree. You see. So that's what the energy is calling, 3308 and the timestamp. So it's really like a call for you to express yourself and find that medium of expression, for you to be able to find your way, to carve a new way, to find a new path for yourself. And in doing so, you also acknowledge the need to keep it going, just to make sure like you express the Capricornian energy, and express the Capricornian energy in such a way that you will see progress and results in the long run. So I guess that's it, and I hope that you resonate with this message. And yeah, hello. My husband just arrived. So yeah, I hope the message resonates with you, and I hope that you will get a copy of my book, Strokes of Desire. And yeah, and visit my Substack, my website at narspari.substack.com if you like to know more about what I do. So that will be all. I love you and take care of yourself, and see you in the next one. Cheers.